Hello, everyone. This is Ancient Goddess. I've been missing in action from the podcast lately. Just been living life and, taking care of business on my end and doing the things I've got to do to play the role that I'm divinely supposed to play and that I am playing. It's been quite interesting with the astrological signs and how they're playing out right now and the things I'm witnessing in my own personal life as the cosmic energies are aligning and clearing out, all sorts of things from our past, because a lot of things that, and I'll just use my example, myself as the example. I've been clearing up and dealing with energies from my children and, the fathers of my children and the paths that, that my children wanted to experience, and how people have always had some type of personal opinion about what my experience with my children should have looked like. And it isn't any of their business. They have their own children that they should worry about. Seriously. Anyways, my children are grown. I had my children when I was very young. And I didn't even graduate high school. I had children instead. And I am so grateful because they deserve to be here. They're beautiful beings of love and beautiful beings of, immense joy and happiness and creativity. I'm so grateful that I made those choices. So, and then there is the most recent thing that I've just been dealing with is I went on my walk. I walk in my neighborhood every day. I've done this my whole life. When I was in my 20s, I did it in the town that I lived in. I would go and walk 3 to 5 miles every day. It's just something I love to do. It brings me great joy to move my body, to use my body. And if I'm not walking, then I'm dancing and loving myself. I love using my body. My body is incredible. It's so intelligent, and I love feeling it and experiencing the world with it. Well, today, someone called the police and lied. They didn't represent what I was doing in any way, shape, or form that was even honest. The police said that they got calls that I was in the middle of the road. I never even once stepped foot in the road. Not once. And then somebody said I was down on 39th Street. Never got that far. So the information that they got was absolute bullshit. And I asked the officer, I said, Are you going to detain me? Am I being detained? And he knew exactly where that was going to lead him. Because I wasn't doing anything by the time the police fucking gang stalked me down, hunted me down to interrogate me. And they said that they were coming because of the phone call. They wanted to make sure that I was all right. And I said, all right in what way? I'm walking down the road. And I was in the cemetery at this point. That's what I'm saying. They hunted me down in the cemetery looking for someone they got a phone call about that was potentially maybe dancing in the middle of the road, is what they were told. That's not what was occurring. I just walked down the street, down in front of the cemetery, because the cemetery is blocked off, and then into the entrance. Did I dance a little bit? Sure. I even stretched a little bit. This is my community. My whole life I've been roaming the community, riding my bicycle when I was a young child, walking through trees and canals. And where was the world then? When I was 5 years old and on my bicycle riding down a canal. Where were you then? You have never been there to check and make sure that I was safe. And why aren't you actually doing your fucking job and arresting the very people that have lied to the people about these vaccines? Why are you coming after just a civilian walking down the road? What are you doing? The truth is like fully out there, man. The people that are paying you tried to kill people. And you're still trying to enforce their bullshit fucking illegitimate fucking laws that go against the laws of nature. You don't have any right to interrogate people. This is our planet. Who are you? And of course, I didn't have this conversation with you one-on-one. I kept my peace. When you asked me why was I barefoot, and I told you it's called earthing and grounding, and it treats depression and anxiety and inflammation. It's healthy for you. Like, who do you think you are to ask somebody all of these questions? And why do you want to pretend like if I was to sit here and you were to honestly listen to every single one of my podcasts, what on earth could you come up with within your own self that you could do to assist me? Are you ready to, tell people the truth? I am harming no one. I live in peace every day. I take walks. I breathe fresh air. I dance. Just because somebody was stuck in the fucking ice cream sales shop and they could see me across the road and I was happy and enjoying my life and their life was miserable, doesn't mean I need them to call the police to come check on me. If you really want to make sure that I am okay and the rest of this community is okay, look to the people who are trying to lead us. Look to those people, the ones that pay your paycheck, the ones that won't get honest about how they want to control and own and enslave everyone. I don't consent to being gang stalked or harassed. As soon as I can, I'll be making a phone call to the police department. Because how dare you pull up with your guns and I'm fucking harmless. I sing, I dance, I live my life in peace. You don't have any right to do this to people. None. It's called false authority and indoctrinated authority. Just because somebody taught you and programmed you to believe that shit is okay, you were deceived. You fell for some trick that the darkness played on you so that you could be a part of some nefarious fucking agenda. And I don't consent to it. Because my energy isn't for sale and you don't have any authority over my soul as an energy, as a being. Only I do, me and God. You might want to go talk to the God that you know before you start trying to put your hands on people or question people. And I mean, unless you want to, if you were just a civilian and you wanted to have a conversation with me, cool. That's like I told you tonight when you asked me, well, have you seen anybody else out tonight? I'm like, yeah, the general local people that just regularly walk around. That's common. I've been attacked more than once by people that I care about recently because, I don't know, I guess they think I can handle it. I just see right through it. I'm like, no, fuck you. Try again. That's not accurate. Everything that you're saying, you're projecting. And you're trying to accuse me of doing it, and I'm not even doing it. You initiated the conversation with me. It's been tough the last couple of days. Just telling the truth. Um, the the earthquake in Turkey, that was a release. That was Gaia, man. That was Gaia. And I don't know if it was a major city or what, but my prayers and my condolences and my love to anybody who is dealing with that situation. Surely, y'all have received the resources you need. Surely you have. And if you haven't, shame on whoever was supposed to supply them. Because it's obvious that the very people that are supposed to be, our leaders, they're not there for us. They're not making sure that our needs are met. They're not making sure that we have the things that we require to have a happy environment, to live in a safe reality. They are not providing that for us. Somebody asked, one of my friends on Twitter, she said, "What is the one thing you'll never do again?" And I said, "Trust someone outside of myself to take care of me." Every time I have ever done that, it never worked out. And I've done it multiple times, and it has never worked out. I have to take care of myself. Everyone must stand on their own. Everyone must stand alone. You and your God, me, my God, they're not at war. It's the same fucking God. I met this girl today. She delivered groceries here to my neighbor. And me and the grandbaby were out in the front yard. We were just, playing outside and being in nature. And the delivery girl pulls up and she spots us, and little Ari spots her, and little Ari starts talking to her in her little language, look at me, I'm here. It was so adorable. And so we got to talking, and she got real close to me, and we ended up giving hugs, and she got my phone number. But this woman, she has this scar. She showed me this scar in her head, and she had been plugged into some type of machine. Something happened to her, and she ended up having brain surgery, and they didn't do it right or some shit, and she got plugged into something. And then she said, 11 years. She went through this for 11 years, and she said one day God came to her. It's like she went to God. She saw God, and God spoke to her and said, "You're going to wake up, and you're going to ask to speak to so-and-so." And sure as fuck, she woke up, she asked to speak to so-and-so, and she gave so-and-so the information that God told her. And the doctors and her whole family and everybody were like, "No, if you do that, you'll die." She said, "No, I won't. Just do it. This is what I'm telling you to do. Do it." And they did it. And she did not die. She's like, here. And when I told her that I had my experiences with God, she was like, "Girl, I know it's true." And I started crying, and she was like, "People just don't get it." She's like, "Why are you so sad?" I said, "Because it feels so perfect there with God. It's so perfect." And I don't know why I was so fortunate to get sent back all the time. I don't know. I don't even ask questions anymore. I just be grateful, that somebody's here to do what a lot of other people either couldn't or wouldn't. For the sake of somebody else. I had this really beautiful moment with Jesus, too, since the last time I talked to you guys. I was driving down the highway, and he astral projected into the passenger seat of the car. And boy, I tell you what, I couldn't even freaking believe it. it's hard to believe. Like, it makes it so hard to even perceive that he's real, that he's really fucking sitting right next to you, but he was. And, yep, I've had some good movement with the GPMS.world. I've met a couple of other people that have been building communities, other sovereign beings. We've been finding each other. We're all over the place. We're finally connecting, and that's still going. I know the GPMS.world website has been down for maintenance. It's going through a rehosting phase, and the pages some of the pages are being redesigned, and some of the language is being changed, because the more people that came in, the more we could collectively work together to create a more simplified version of it. Like I've said in the past, we started with just 10 of us. It's been a long ride. It's been an interesting show, watching things play out. The the supposed shoot down of a UFO, I just kind of laughed. I'm like, no. There's nothing that the U.S. military has that could shoot down a UFO. They don't have the tech. They don't have, the technology that are on these crafts, my crafts included. They can't shoot them down. Whatever. They must have shot something down of their own so they couldn't, they don't have the technology. And as far as the propulsion, they didn't know the propulsion it's using. Well, it's light propulsion. And that technology has existed from the technology I'm used to dealing with for a long time. It's not really new. I know the ships that I've been on, that's the technology we use. And I know that there's a beautiful grid here on this planet, where all the little multi-dimensional, access points are on the globe where you can leave and enter. That shit is real. And I told some people the other day in a Twitter space that I am a guardian of, some of these portals. And I told this one girl, I was like, well, I put a lock on that one. She said, well, why would you do that? I said, because they were trying to come in. They were trying to come in with some type of negative force, and it had to be cleaned out. Until no negative forces are allowed. They can't get in. They can't. And what's occurring is a cleanup on the planet. The whole planet's being cleaned up of all of this darkness. It really is. It really, really is. So I'm just going to continue to walk in faith, walk in the light, trust Father Creator, Mother Creator, trust both of them because they're very alive. And, just walk through this dream as we create the new one, as we access the other world. Because that other world that I've accessed is very real. And everyone should have access to it because it's beautiful and it's perfect. And it's full of abundance for everyone. Everyone has abundance. Just imagine with me, if you will, while I wrap this up. Wow, I can go for an hour and 61 minutes now. Or longer than that, probably. It's a long time. So just, if you will, just imagine with me. Imagine everyone on the planet receiving a universal basic income every single month to ensure that they had a comfortable life. And then, as far as these jobs are concerned, if that's what you love to do, then keep doing it. No one wants you to stop. But your choices and decisions, they're not allowed to enslave others and to create harm and suffering for others. That goes against the laws of nature, and you will clear yourself out. There will be nothing that anybody has to do. you'll clear yourself out. No more enslavement of the people. No more mind control practices on everybody's psychological manipulation and warfare, and it's wrong. I don't consent to it, and I don't consent to it happening to the people around me and the world around me. People know how to live in harmony. It's an innate thing. People know how to love. They know how to be empathetic. They know how to be compassionate and caring. They know how to live consciously and mindfully of how their actions, words, and behaviors affect others. It's innate. It's not anything that you have to go searching for. It's already in us. I know how to love myself. I know how to love you. I know how to work together. I know how to create and organize groups of people. I have multiple abilities. All of us do. We've all been training and getting prepared to take ownership and responsibility and accountability for the future of our world. Because if we don't, then you're giving your power away. And I don't consent to doing that. Not for myself. And by all means, the only thing I can do is be a beacon of hope for you and to remind you that you too are worthy of everything you could ever dream of. Love you.